Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. I know it was a little slow, but this whole week was a little slow. Everybody's on vacation. I'm looking for everybody to come back so we can get this market to pick back up and start moving a little bit. But wanted to remind you guys, Sneak Peek Wednesday will be back on this coming week, Wednesday, June 7th. You get to spend on the morning with us in chat. Get to check us out, see what we're doing, see if you've done it before, you know, see what we're doing now. So give you an idea of what we do in our chat room. And this is what it looks like. I share my Sure Trader platform live every day. You get to see me go in and out of trades. If I get stopped out, you see that. If I'm taking profit, you see that. If I hit my max loss or things are just out of sync for me that day, you'll see me shut it down. And what I'm doing is I'm demonstrating to you what you should be doing if you're in the same boat. The worst thing you can do is to continue going down the same road. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And I don't think I'm insane, so I'm not going to continue to do the same thing over and expect to start winning. It's just doesn't make sense. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to demonstrate to you exactly what I had did and how I'm able to protect myself, protect my capital, preserve the money that I do make. When days aren't right or I hit my max loss, it's time to shut the platform off. And that's what I do. We'll talk about setups. We'll talk about things that are hitting, but you're not going to see me trade. And that's the discipline that you guys have to develop as well. When things aren't working, you shut it down. If the market is not conducive to what you do, you shut it down. You can't make the market come to you. You have to wait for it to come. So you'll see me go through all of that. And the reason why I did this is because I feel the best way to learn is not only to get the fundamentals and learn all of this stuff, but you want to be able to see somebody apply what you're learning. And that's what I'm trying to do every day in chat. So you can go to on the website averagejoetrader.com and you can see everything that you get with it. Subscriptions, at least for this next month, they're still going to be $3.99 for the year. And not only in some of the things that you get for the year, we do small group mentor sessions. You get one live education webinar per week. I do one class a week on Wednesdays. You are able to communicate with everybody in the community. So you can establish private study groups within yourself. I have nothing to do with that. These are traders getting together, working with each other. On the small group mentor sessions or when I have a group of traders that want to work on a specific issue that they're having. And we'll have a small group mentor session. You have access to all of these. So just some of the perks. It's not just coming in the chat room and then being able to be in there. And there's a lot more that goes with it. We are starting a new swing trading class. I'm sharing the strategies that I've used swing trading. I usually pick swing trading up more in the summertime when the day trading slows down. The swing trading usually, kind of picks up what I do. And that's what's helped me the last couple of weeks. And so I'm sharing that. I'm teaching you exactly what I do, what I look at. And like I said before, you can get all of this information. I mean, everything that any person that teaches day trading, swing trading, all of the basic information you can get online. It's out there. All of that stuff is there. But what you get from the class is application. How do I apply this to my trading? If you go with somebody else, how do they apply it? You're learning how they apply it. Yeah, if you buy a video or a DVD or whatever, and it's all full of fundamental information, then yeah, you wasted your money. But that's not, what this is. It's live classes, live mentoring, meaning when you have questions and you need to stay after class, I'm there. Anybody that's been in my classes know that they never end on time. I'm usually there 30, 45 minutes to an hour after class is over, answering questions and helping people out. That's my responsibility as a teacher. If you're in high school, if you're in college, and the teacher has a responsibility to help you if you need help. And that's what I'm here for. With the class, you get lifetime access to the class. That means if 2 years from now you want to come in and take the class again, you just join in the next class that's going on, or join in on the class that's already going on. You have access to do that. You don't have to be a member of chat to do it. Once you buy the class, you're in it for life. But the chat room access, you do get a year. So that does run out, but your access to the classes doesn't. But if you have any questions or anything, just email me at ed@averagejoetrader.com. That's the best way to get me. That's the quickest way to get me. All right. So just wanted to share that with you before we got into the trades for today. All right, let's look and get into the trades I took today. I know that's what you guys really want to see and not just listen to me talk. So RH was a stock on my watch list. I didn't get to trade this because I didn't have any shares to short. No shares available on it. But all through pre-market, I was looking long at first. Because you see, we were holding the 9, we were holding the 20. But then at 9 o'clock, we started the whole, get below the 9, lost the 20 here. And then the last candle before open, the last 5-minute candle, we had a big sell-off. Then this candle, we opened, pushed back up, and immediately sold off. We set the opening range here. I didn't mark the high, but I've got the low here marked. And I would have gotten short on this candle more than likely, because I would have waited for this candle to finish and jumped in on this candle. But I took my eyes off of it early because I didn't have any shares to short, and when it was setting up short, it wasn't any need for me to keep looking at it, because the longer I look at it, the more it would have been, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, and that doesn't do any good. It just takes your focus off of what you should be trading. LULU was the next one I was looking at, and you can see this one kind of did the same thing. We stayed above the 9, above the 20 all through pre-market. This one actually held a little bit longer, and we were just chopping back and forth through it. So I really didn't like this price action very much, but that's why this was kind of my second choice. but the stock was within my price range that I like to trade. I had some decent windows here, but first candle opened, and this one was about what, $1.70 almost. The range on this candle. We opened, immediately sold off. Set the opening range low, and you know I like to wait for this, but I didn't like this big candle, and this is what kind of took my eyes off of this and this crazy price action going into it. So I stayed away from this. I went to the third choice, which was a VIPS, and this is the one I took for the opening range breakdown. Here was the first candle, set the opening range. This candle traded inside the opening range, but we were showing all kinds of weakness. So I actually anticipated the loss of the opening range, and it kind of worked out for me. I mean, ideally I would have gotten in on this candle, but I kind of anticipated it, read it right, and got in. The only thing I did by accident was I got in with 1,000 shares versus 500. I was wanting to get in with 500 shares, got in with 1,000, and my first target was this 1360. Now, with a lower price stock, the windows are going to be a little bit tighter. So you're going to size up in order to take advantage of the tighter windows here. So I figured going in with 500 shares and potentially taking it all off at 1360 or 1350 would have been a good deal. That would have been a nice little hit. You know, one of the things that I was looking at changing, adapting in my trading, was being able to take these smaller windows and profit on them and be happy with it and move on and look for something else. So I was kind of okay with this, and it was even better that I took 1,000 shares because, you know, the windows were tighter and I was able to make a little bit more profit. Now, I'm okay trading 1,000 shares. I'm used to it. You know, it's no stress on me at all. But the reason why I was sticking to the smaller size is that I'm trying to demonstrate in chat how you have to gradually build yourself up to trading larger sizes. And I know it's difficult, and I know it's difficult, and I know that, you know, it's hard having patience and hard, you know, trading smaller size and making, you know, $60, $70 on a trade, and you see other people posting that they're making $300, $400, $500, $1,000 on the same trade. But the key is you have to get to that point. Number one, you don't know if they're actually trading, whether they're on a simulator. You don't know because you're not there with them. So you can't really compare yourself to what other people are doing. You have to focus on what you're doing in trading your size and developing the skill. Because if you develop the skill to get in the trade, read the price action, get in the trade, take the opening range, set your profit targets based on strategic points on the chart, then you're doing exactly what you need to do. You're developing that skill so that you can grow your profit. So here, my first target was 1360s. That was about 25 cents, 24, 25 cents, which is great with higher share size. But the next three levels were about 10 cents apart. So it was okay. I'll take some here, and some here. And that would be a decent profit. So, and that's exactly what I did. I took half off here, took a quarter off when I got to 1350. We got the pullback. We stayed under the opening range low. We stayed below my entry. So because at this point, my stop was going to be at break even. Now, I entertained the idea of making my stop. After I took profit here, my stop was at break even. When I took profit here, I entertained the idea of putting my stop here at this entry or even 1370. But then I thought about it and I'm like, look, this thing can pull back and retest this and then work. So I didn't want to get stopped out and then have to try to get in below here. So I let it work. It ended up working out and I got it right here at 1340. So I took another piece off. I didn't take the whole trade off because ideally I was looking to see it test this red to green line or green to red line at that point. So I held on to it, held on to it, held on to it. And when we finally got above the 20, when we finally lost it, that's when I took it off. Still with some for profit, but I gave it a chance to work. And so not a bad morning. You know, I held it pretty much all morning. It was slow, not a whole lot going on. So holding this last piece was no big deal. I was already, the trade was on the house. I'd already locked in some decent profit at that point. So might as well let it go. And 270.02 was, what we got, what we pulled in. The next trade was on LULU. I did finally get in this. I waited until the price action settled in. And you can see how it kind of settled here. We didn't have the jumping around, the jumpiness. It had settled in. We kind of rejected the 20 here. And once we got under this 54.82 level that held pretty strong all morning, I took it short. Got my first cover here at 54.40. Again, I'm taking, I'm locking in smaller moves. I'm not sitting here holding. Otherwise, I would have sat here and held this looking for 54. And had I done that, I might have ended up turning around getting stopped out. But I accepted the smaller move. I took some here. And when I started feeling that we weren't going to get 54 and that the tide was starting to change, I went ahead and took it off. And just locked in that profit. I didn't let it run out. I wasn't deep. I was only one cover in. I only took 200 shares on this because I was still in a little bit in the other trade. So I couldn't go in my full 300 shares. And, had I had 300 shares, yeah, I still would have been in and let it test this, but then I would have been stopped out anyway. So this turned out to be the right decision. And this was where I was making bad decisions before. I would let the trade work. Like yesterday, I would get this move yesterday, and because it didn't hit my target, I just held on to it. And instead of locking in a little bit of profit. So, $76 is not nothing to write home about, but it's green. Yesterday, this would have been a red trade. I had 2 red trades on this yesterday. So adapting and taking smaller gains. Now, I'm telling you, trading with smaller size is very difficult. Anybody that's ever done it will tell you. It's a lot harder, but you develop the skill, and that's what it's all about. It's developing that skill. so that when we size up, instead of this, if I, had I traded this 500 shares, my profit would be close to $200 on this. Easy trade. Easy trade. Solid risk reward. I didn't have to give it a big stop. And just a nice trade all the way around. Same way with VIPS. It was a solid trade. Great risk reward, and stuck to the plan. And I didn't do, another thing I was doing was I was looking at my P&L because I was sharing it with everybody in chat. Well, I realized that was causing me some anxiety. So because, what if I'd have looked at this and I saw that, okay, right here, here's my net P&L, $298.55. That's after commissions and all of that. Now, yeah, I'm going to get $8 back because I do get $1 back per ticket, rebate. So this would be over $300. But me looking at this, I'd have been like, I want this net P&L to say $300. So I may go look for a trade I can make $50 on. And that's when I started losing it, where I would take a trade and I would go backwards because I looked at this number and I wanted to hit something else. So that's why I haven't been showing it the last couple of days, because I don't want to see it. I don't want it in my mind. I don't care how much money I made. Like, I didn't look at this until after the market closed today of what I made. I knew I had made money. I just didn't know how much. And believe me, if I could do this every day, I'd be happy. Because on the good days, this is going to double. This is considered a bad day because we didn't really get a whole lot of follow through. We didn't really get a whole lot of strong moves. The really good stock, the really good mover that I could have made some good money on, I couldn't short. So, I'm pretty pleased with this. And these are the kind of days that we have to be okay with. And these are some of the trades that we're going to have to be okay with if we're going to continue to move forward. Let me see. Now, the swing trades did not do that well. I'm going to see if I could find a daily chart here. Hold on. So we can look at it. Nope. I have a daily chart somewhere. Here it is. Went to the other screen. Alright, so I only look at my swing trades on the daily chart. That's how I manage them. Unless I get in. When I'm entering and I'm exiting, I'm going to do it on an intraday chart. Okay, so RL. I'm going to blow this up so you can see it a little bit better. I was looking for it to push through this 70 today. But we never got to push. Never really got to push up. So didn't get to this next stage. Had we closed below this 68, 67 level, I would have taken it off. But we didn't close below it. We still held it. So, I really had no intentions of holding this into the weekend. I wanted to get all cash, but it just didn't give it to me today. And I wasn't going to take it off because that's not the plan. The plan, when you're swing trading, you're holding through swings like this. As long as you're holding your levels, you're holding through swings. So RL is still working. It's still up. I'm still profitable. I'm not going to allow it to go to where I'm not going to make profit on it. I'm not going to allow that to happen. TSCO was what really scared me. You can see how we dipped down. We dipped down below this 50. What level was this? We dipped down below this 55.30 level and tapped on this 54.75 level. You can see how I was concerned about this, but it recovered pretty nicely, and we're still up. This could just be a hiccup day for both of those stocks. Still looking for it to get to the 20 moving average. Again, if this closes below this level on Monday, then I will take it off and take the profit that I do have. It won't be negative. I'll have profit on both trades. But the market just wasn't there this week. It just, that's all I can say. It wasn't there. And it made it difficult. We had some hiccup days in here. And then we had this breakout day yesterday. Had a hiccup day today. So I'm looking for it to break out. I'm looking for it to come up and test this. So we'll see what happens next week. But these two trades are the simple ones that I kind of share with everybody first. I've got several strategies that I use to swing trade. This is my favorite because it's the easiest. It's the easiest, one of the easier setups, easy to scan for. It's kind of a no-brainer. All right, so that's going to do it from me. I'm going to try to have a monthly recap video. I'm not going to add Thursday and Friday into it. I'm just going to recap the month. But it's really not anything different than what I did last week, because Tuesday I didn't trade. Wednesday was pretty much a wash. And so Thursday started a new month. So it doesn't make sense for me to go through and redo the same thing I just did last week. So probably won't do a weekly recap video, because I don't really have anything new to add to last month. And this month just started, so I'll probably do one next weekend. So look for that. Unless something pops up, I may do one, but other than that, I'm probably going to leave it the way it is. So you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully you have some good weather where you are, and we will see you back bright and early Monday morning. Oh, and don't forget, next week we are bringing back Sneak Peek Wednesday. So I'll keep sending out that information this week. So if you're not a member of chat and you want to come in and see what we're doing and how things are progressing, feel free to join us on Sneak Peek Wednesdays. All right, so again, have a great weekend, and we will see you bright and early Monday morning.